Welcome back, traders. I hope all of you guys are having a nice and profitable trading week thus far. In this video, I'll be breaking down one of the setups that we actually entered on in the member zone, which is USDJPY, and I'll show you guys how it played out. So I also want to quickly mention that I want to start a new YouTube series where I do case studies looking at specific setups, why we entered where we entered, and how that trade actually played out. This way, I think it'll be more educational for the wide audience, whoever watches the video, and it will be a ways and it will be a means for me to be more active on YouTube as well. Okay, so firstly, USDJPY, this is how our trade played out. So we entered this trade right over here at the member zone. This was basically a 1 to 6 trade, and we closed this position manually at around somewhere like at the top of this wick around here, giving us an 11% gain on this specific trade. Okay, so this was done in the member zone. Now, if you're interested in joining the member zone, I'll leave the links below. That's completely up to you. But yeah, so that specific trade gave us 11%. I want to explain why we entered that trade, how I knew specifically price was going to reach that level, and why we even decided to enter where we entered. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the overall trend of the market. We can see that the USDJPY is pushing downwards, but starting at this point in the market around 102.700, we see a reversal occur and we see bullish market structure being formed. So that's our first confluence, bullish market structure with the reversal. So for that reasoning, we will be looking for potential buy opportunities. Okay, so this is to just confirm what our bias is going to be. So now that we've identified that our bias is going to be bullish because the overall trend is bullish, we want to look for an entry. The second thing I looked for and I identified was this bullish trend that was forming, this ascending trend line. We can see we had a rejection right here and a rejection right here. The trend line is basically the same thing as support or resistance, except it's diagonal rather than it being horizontal. So I just decided to plot this on as well. So far we have two confluences. We have the overall trend, which is bullish. We have the market structure, and we have the trend line. The third confluence is the fib rejection. So knowing that we are currently in a retracement phase, so obviously in the bullish market structure we have the uptrend, and this right here was the current high right here, and we see prices pushing down. So we're assuming that this move right here is going to be a retracement, and the overall goal in looking to enter a buy trade is to catch the trade at the bottom where the retracement is ending and the next impulsive move is beginning. Okay. So with that being said, we see that the price is pushing down lower. So I'm going to use my fib tool from the bottom up to the top, measuring the impulsive move to measure the next retracement. Okay, and we can see at this specific level is where we could potentially see price come down to, reject off of this trend line and off of our 61.80% or 71%. The 61.80% is a huge fib level, as most of you guys already know, but the 71% is something more specific to me, and this is where I like to enter, look to enter off of my trade. So this is more of like an entry position for me. Okay. So now that we have our setup aligned, so this is exactly how I had my setup on Sunday. And as soon as the market opened, so let's go drop down on the 4-hour time frame now. As soon as the market opened, I wanted price to come down into this level. I made it very clear. And then I was looking for potential buy opportunities over here to see price push towards the upside. So this is exactly what happened. We see price is just consolidating. We pushed up a little bit and I had this huge drop. Now on the daily time frame, this looks a huge bear shooting star. Now a lot of traders, what they would be doing is they'd be looking for sell opportunity because of this formation. However, I want to tell you guys something. It's very important. The market structure and the overall trend is more important than individual candlestick formations. Okay, let me repeat myself. The overall market structure is more important than the individual candlestick formations. So if we see that the trend is upwards and we have this huge bear shooting star occurring, we don't want to be looking for selling opportunities, only buys because the trend is upwards. So if the trend is up, we want to be looking for buys. And a lot of traders, beginners especially, they'd be looking for sells, thinking that this is going to be a huge reversal and they would see price just push towards the downside. But as you know, for those who trade price action and know market structure, that will only occur once the previous low is broken and we've confirmed its break. Then we would be able to see confirm a reversal. However, because we have our trend and we have our setup aligned, we don't want to be looking for that, and we have multiple confluences telling it that it's going to be pushing up higher. So once we see price come down into this level, we wait and we wait. So we entered this position after this bullish shooting star rejection had occurred right here. So this is exactly where we entered our trade. Our take profit was somewhere around here, somewhere around this level, and our stop loss was somewhere over here, somewhere around this level. Okay. So this is a 1 to 6 trade. Okay, so this, our stop loss was probably a bit higher, or take profit was a bit higher, but this was a very, very nice trade. So we see the next candlestick, we kind of had a little bit of a drawdown here, and we saw price come at the bottom of this zone and right to our 71% level. Granted, we could have had a better entry right here, but we entered just a bit early, but it's okay. We just experienced a little bit of a drawdown, and then immediately once that occurred, we saw price have that rejection. Okay, and then once we have that, we see price push towards the upside, and then we see price continue to all the way push higher and higher. Now we exited this position somewhere around this level. I sent out a notification to my signals chat saying that I was going to manually close it somewhere around here, and this gave us an easy 11% to gain our account since we're doing a 2% risk. Okay, so this is going to be our first video explaining why we entered this trade, and this is going to be our first video explaining this whole this new little playlist, or this new little series that I want to do on YouTube. Okay.